Hello everyone, welcome back to another mushroom hunt. We're just in the hills here above the Vale of Leven, just next to the cemetery, and we're going to go see what we can find. So I know this area pretty well and I think we're going to find some good stuff. So let's go. So I'm pretty excited about this patch that I've just found here. They've got a few different names. In Italy, they're known as porcini. In France, they're known as ceps. Here, we call them penny bun. But these are a really prized edible mushroom. I'm not saying, again, I don't want to encourage anyone to go pick these or eat them, but they are a really popular mushroom. And look at the size of that. And this is a small one. I can just see a huge one out there that I'll go show you in a minute. But there's a lot of these around here. So instead of gills, the spores will drop out of these tubes here. And then on top, here's why they're called a penny bun, is because they look almost like a roll or something like that. Us humans aren't the only ones that like them. As you can see, the slugs really like them. And for good reason. If I just cut a bit off here, look at that beautiful white flesh. You can tell they're good by the sound they make. So I'm just on the other side of this fence now, from the graveyard, and look at this massive Balloch edulis, which is what we saw earlier, and this one is huge. So, like I was saying before, it's not just us humans that like eating these, it's also slugs and also the worms. So I'm gonna pick this and I'll cut it open and we'll see if the worms have got to it yet. Oh, look at that. Look at the size of that. Oh no, perfect. Look at that. Perfect, no worms or anything in there. So that's your cep, penny bun, King Balloch, porcini, all different names. And see these, as they get a bit older, the pores here will go yellow. But you can dry these out, they're really good dry. It creates a whole different flavour. Here in the grass, we've just come across this wee patch of golden wax caps. These are really nice little mushrooms. They're called wax caps because when they're wet, they have a sort of a waxy cap, I guess. They like to grow in the grass. You won't find them in the woods. They just grow in the grass, usually in the moss and sort of in quite a damp environment. There's loads of different species of wax caps in the genus Hygrocebi. But yeah, keep a lookout for them. So just here on this fallen beech branch, we've got this massive cluster. They're called porcelain mushrooms. And I've never actually seen this many. They're a really interesting fungus, really pretty. These are quite old, that's why they've gone grey and they've dried out a little bit. They're called porcelain mushrooms because they start off white, really bright white, and they're sort of slimy, so they look really shiny. Yeah, really, really interesting mushroom, and I've never seen this many before. So we've come to the end of another little mushroom hunt. I hope you learned something. If I've made a mistake, leave a comment below and like the video anyway. I'm not an expert, but I'm going home to have this bad boy for my dinner. See you later. Oh, the hell is that? Hello everyone,